It's finally that time of the year, guys. It is spooky time. So it's time to talk about our favorite VR horror experiences that we've done up to this point. Every year, I do a list of my favorite VR horror games. And honestly, this year, my list changed around some. So we're gonna talk about my top 10 favorite VR horror experiences. Now, this list is not in any order, and it does include every VR platform. So PSVR2, Quest, PCVR, no matter the platform, you are included. So with all that being said, let's get into our first game. For our first game, our very first game, may debatably be the scariest game on this list. This is Madison VR for PSVR2 and Steam VR. Bro, I played this game and I literally could only play 1 hour. That's how far I made it. I made it 1 hour in. I can't tell you the story of the game. I can't tell you much about the game other than it's terrifying. It's so scary. This is one of the scariest games I've ever played. Now, this is already a scary game flat, but being in VR makes this 3,000% worse. I have never been so scared in a VR headset that it was to the point where I played it by myself. I just lay like this on the floor for like at least like 20 minutes. I was like, just look at it. Just look at me. Just look terrible looking. The footage of me playing this game will never see the light of day. Don't ask, because it's not coming. I would only play this on stream if somebody donated like a PS5 Pro. This game is terrifying. This is a scary game. You don't play this. Okay, anybody who plays this, you're not a normal person. I refuse to believe you walk among us normally. You have to be like an alien. You gotta be like a psychopath. I don't know. You gotta be something different to sit through this whole game. In my life I played a lot of different games. And the reason I'm yapping right now is because I can't play this game. No, you know what? Play it in VR. Play it in VR. If you think you're a horror person, play this game in VR. I dare you. And let me know how far you get. Moving on. Second game is one that holds a pretty special place in my heart, being one of the first VR horror games I actually played on stream. This is FNAF Help Wanted 1. This game right here. This game is a very special game because you go through the whole FNAF series as pretty much an employee working in Freddy Fazbear's. Man, you have to relive every game in the series. So FNAF 1 all the way to Pizzeria Simulator, I think. Bro, this game right here, there's few times in my life I felt soul-crushing anxiety. And FNAF Help Wanted 1 was definitely one of those times. This game is so scary. You don't realize how scary FNAF really is because we're so desensitized to the series at this point. Man, FNAF 1. I couldn't finish FNAF 1. I'm gonna repeat that. I could not finish FNAF 1.
Oh, I hear you. Hey, Chicka-Chee. Wait. No, not 2%. No. Ah! No.
The anxiety that I felt standing in that room with those two open doors with 8-foot tall animatronics. You don't realize how tall Bonnie is. Bonnie is linebackers. Bonnie probably could play for the Falcons. He's him. He's huge, bro. There's also mini games you can play, which basically you can reassemble the robots and clean them and stuff like that, parts and services. Those are soul crushing. Those are so soul crushing. And they're soul crushing for the reason that there's nowhere for you to run. You're face to face with Chica, Foxy, all the big animatronics, and you just have to be there in VR.
Ooh!
Back to parts and service.
Yo!
Oh no, it looks to open Bonnie's faceplate. Carefully press the two buttons located on either side of Bonnie's jaw. When done correctly, you should hear 2 small clicks.
I had to press them at the same time.
Well done.
Fuck.
I think that's enough. Now, the second game honestly isn't that scary to me personally. You guys can go try it. I'm not gonna say don't get it, but it's not gonna be as scary as that first game. I'm sorry. I don't know what they did for the second game, but they made it more kid friendly, but kind of forgot, the horror. But FNAF Help Wanted 1 is one of my favorite VR horror games of all time, just because It just got the it. Moving on. Our next game is one of my favorite VR horror games of all time, which actually is a flat 2 VR mode. Phasmophobia is on PCVR and is soon coming to console for PSVR2. And man, this is legitimately one of my favorite horror games. It's basically ghost hunting the game. This game will put you through intense amounts of stress, trying to discover what type of ghost is haunting the location. And there's hella maps. Now, this game has come a long way, guys. I played it when it first came out. There's more maps, a lot of ghost types, more gadgets and stuff you can use. You can play this with friends. Honestly, just a whole around package. And I can't wait for it to come to PSVR 2 so some of the console guys can actually enjoy peak.
David, are you here?
Yep. Did he get a scary ass?
Ooh, he clapped his ass.
GG.
Yeah, look it up.
I genuinely say nowadays that Phasmophobia really might be top 10 all-time horror games for me. You really can't go wrong with Phasmophobia. If you're on PC VR, do yourself a favor, grab a few friends, or go in by yourself if you built like that. Play Phasmophobia, man. What you doing? Our next game isn't actually a VR game at all. It's actually a mod of a very popular game, Alien Isolation. So this game took over the internet some years ago, and honestly, it deserves all that praise. Basically, this game is you versus robots versus the aliens. Now, they are terrifying already in the flat game because they're so smart. This is a very intelligent enemy you're facing. Now, imagine doing that face-to-face in VR. That's why this is one of the scariest VR mods of all time and definitely deserves to be on this list. You cannot play VR horror without touching Alien Isolation at least once. Now, honestly, I didn't finish the game. I saw the alien the first time and I dipped out. I was like, I'm good. I got it. Okay, I'm totally fine. But that's just me. But if you're a person who's on PC VR, you need to try this out. And I can't wait for the future Alien game and hopefully can give us something close to kind of how this game made us feel. Our fifth game is Propagation Paradise Hotel. So this is one of my favorite games made for one of my favorite studios, Wanted Dev Studios. This is probably the scariest zombie VR horror game that I played personally. The atmosphere in this hotel is ridiculous. It's very Resident Evil-esque, but turn the Resident Evil down some, turn up the horror like by like 100. It's really, really scary. And what makes Paradise Hotel so scary is the fact that it's so quiet. And the zombies actually look very intimidating. They're tall, lanky, real creepy looking. And a lot of times when you kill them once, they get back up later. So you may kill a zombie and then 20 minutes later, you walk by that same spot and he's back up. The main gist of the story is you to find your twin sister in the hotel and you meet a lot of crazy stuff while trying to go find her. It's crazy because the game even starts with a dubious jump scare. Like, watch this.
We should stay together from now on. Come next to me.
No flashlights.
Well, that was close.
Bro,
Are you okay?
But yeah, if you're looking for a amazing VR horror experience, now it is on a little bit on the short side, but honestly, it's still worth the money to me. Go check out Paradise Hotel and tell Wanted Dev that Mario VR sent you. Our next game is one of my favorite open world survival horror games that just came out for PSVR 2. Been on PC VR and Quest for a while, but this is Into the Radius 1 and 2. Man, I just recently fell in love with this game and it's just so fun. Now, the main thing that makes Into the Radius scary is, well, two things. One, the environments. The environments are really creepy looking because you're in a place called the Radius. And so the Radius has a very apocalyptic kind of elseworld sci-fi kind of vibe to it. And it's really home to some really terrifying shit. But the main gameplay loop for this game is you got to go into the Radius, you got to find materials, got to scavenge. There's also missions you can do. And in those missions, you got to collect certain things, maybe destroy something, or find something. There's a lot of guns in this game also, and man, the guns are amazing. They're so fun to use, and you gotta find your ammo, you gotta know your ammo types and stuff like that, and you gotta make sure you actually package all your stuff accordingly, or you're gonna be caught lacking in the radius, and that's not fun. I remember one time I brought the wrong ammo type for a gun and I was just out of luck. It was just a bad situation. So this game is very reminiscent of games like Stalker 2, where you gotta do inventory management, you gotta clean your weapons.
My gun is nice and clean. Let's go. Sure, there's ammo in there. Check down the barrel. And
I will admit it took me a few tries to get into the radius, but once you get it, trust me, and you will, it is amazing. Our next game is a PSVR exclusive, and it is Resident Evil 8 Village, but in VR. Now, Capcom honestly has one of the best VR modes I've seen in any game on any platform. This game is amazing in VR. It's so fun and it translates so well. Now, some people had issues with it still feeling like it was a flat game, like it wasn't totally made from the ground up for VR. Honestly, that's totally fine because they give you options. Just watch the cutscenes or participate in them. So, you know, potatoes. Honestly, I think it's amazing. I really think this and Resident Evil 4 are really just two top contenders for one of the best flat to VR modes that we've ever seen.
Mother, I bring you fresh prey.
they
You
kinda,
are so kind to me, daughter.
they kinda, they kinda, I don't even like white girls like that.
Now, let's take a look at him.
God damn.
Wow. Wow.
God.
I have to say the worst part of this game had to be the Benviento house. Oh my god, I hated that part in the flat game, and it's even worse in VR. Now there is a PC VR mod for RE8 and RE2. Not sure there's one for 4, but if you do some research, you can definitely find some mods for that. And I even recommend those to people on my PC VR side. Now, if you're on Quest, I have nothing for you. But to wrap this up, RE8 Village is amazing. I highly recommend it. Ethan goes through a lot in this game, and it's just peak, honestly. Before we get into our next 3 games, we gotta go to our sponsor, Glitch Energy. Playing VR takes a lot of energy, and Glitch Energy has you covered. Whether it be gaming energy or hydration, Glitch's 0 calorie, 0 sugar, and 0 lag formula is one of the best I've ever tried. Check the link in my bio to get you some Glitch today and use code MarioDoVR. Our next game is OVRDark. This is on Steam and PSVR2, and this is probably one of the coolest kind of zombie-ish Resident Evil style games that's come out in the past year. Personally, I really like the PSVR2 port. It does have a little bit of persistence, but honestly, it's just a great gaming experience. It's very dark, very atmospheric, and it's really creepy, like insanely. Takes place in a big mansion, and the craziest part is that it's just so quiet. And when you actually do encounter the quote unquote zombies, it's pretty terrifying. Watch this.
Why that door open? I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I didn't leave that door open. Go. Why my feet moving? Go. Don't, you need all the breath you can get. You need, run, nigga. I look back one time. I look, Mike, bro, why is he that fast, bro? Why is he that fast? Oh my god. Bro, this game's scary as hell, bro.
So yeah, this game is definitely scary, and I really do feel like you get a real good bang for your buck with how long the game is and the amount of scares they pack into this game. Man, it is an experience. The devs did really nice, and I feel like it's pretty underrated when it comes to the whole kind of VR horror market. So check this game out. Those devs deserve it because they really made a real piece of work. Go play OVRDark now. Our second to last game is highly underrated. And I mean crazy underrated. It is the Forest VR. This is one of the best flat to VR modes that I've ever seen. I mean, the game fully works in VR, and I really wish they would have did something like this for the second game. The Forest is an open world survival game where you crash land onto an island and you have to figure out how to survive by yourself or with friends. Personally, I'll recommend it with friends because they can play and not be in VR, so it makes for like really funny moments. But the atmosphere of this game, especially at night, is just like unmatched by a lot of games. Especially when you get into those cave areas and you start seeing like eldritch horrors in there and you got to see them in VR, it definitely ups the intensity factor and the horror. If you haven't played The Forest in VR and you're on PCVR, like go do that with some friends like now. If you don't have any friends, come to Discord, we might have somebody for you. But seriously, do yourself a favor and go play The Forest in VR. Our last game is one of the best VR zombie horror games of all time, and it is Walking Dead Saints and Sinners Chapter 1 and 2. Honestly, there's so much I could say about this game, but you do play as the tourist, and the tourist is in Louisiana, and you have to pretty much explore different settlements, locations, while dodging sometimes hordes of zombies. There's a lot of different weapons in this game. The melee combat is probably one of the better parts of the game, but honestly, to me, the best part is the world, the atmosphere, and the environment. You really can't go wrong playing this because the story is actually pretty good. It's really engaging, and it does give you those Walking Dead choices that we like to make. This game is on all platforms, so you can play it on PSVR2, Quest, PCVR. And I also got to talk about the voice acting in the game. The voice acting in this game is immaculate. It's so good and fits the environment and the location of Louisiana so well. You really can't go wrong playing Walking Dead Saints and Sinners Chapter 1 or 2. Personally, I would say go back and play 1 so you know what's going on, and then play 2. All right, guys, that is it for our VR horror games. Let me know how you like this list. Did you have different games on your list? I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys do. Did I do a good job putting this together? Do you kind of like the format of having the, clips sprinkled in there? But this has been a very fun list to put together. Make sure you go check out OVRDark.com to get you some prescription lenses for all your VR headsets. Use code MarduVR for 10% off. Help me help you save some money. With that being said, I hope you guys have a good spooky month. It's been Mardu VR, and remember, I'm just a dude with a VR headset. Peace.